You have been trained to be the smartest person in the room. From the time you were in kindergarten, you were rewarded for raising your hand. You were rewarded for having the answer. You were rewarded for correcting the teacher. You were taught that intelligence is a sword, and you should wave it around for everyone to see. You were taught that status comes from competence. This is the programming of the academy. It is not the programming of the real world. In the brutal game of power, being the smartest person in the room is not an asset. It is a target. When you display your intelligence, you trigger the insecurity of your superiors. You trigger the envy of your peers. You trigger the competitive instinct of your enemies. You become a threat, and threats are neutralized. The warlord knows that true power is not found in display. True power is found in concealment. Sun Tzu says, all warfare is based on deception. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. If you want to gather intelligence without being detected, if you want to disarm your enemies without drawing a weapon, if you want to manipulate the outcome without leaving fingerprints, you must stop trying to be the king. You must become the jester. You must master the art of playing dumb. Today, we are going to teach you the Court Jester Strategy. We are going to show you how to weaponize incompetence. We are going to show you how to use strategic stupidity to extract truth from liars, destroy the egos of narcissists, and conquer the boardroom without anyone realizing you were even playing the game. Welcome to the masquerade, the physics of the ego. Why does this strategy work? It works because of the fundamental law of human nature. The ego craves superiority. Every person you meet is walking around with a secret, burning desire to feel smarter, stronger, and more important than the person standing next to them. When you approach them with intelligence, when you correct their grammar, when you cite statistics, when you have a better idea, you are attacking their ego. You are challenging their superiority. They will put up their shields, they will become defensive, they will hide information, they will try to destroy you. But when you approach them as the jester, when you approach them with a confused look, when you ask for help, when you seem a little bit slower, a little bit naive, a little bit less than, you feed their ego. You hand them the crown of superiority, and in their arrogance, they relax. They lower their shields. They open the gates. They think, this person is harmless. I can say anything in front of them. I can use them. And that is when you strike. That is when you catch the wise. The jester is the only person in the king's court who can speak the truth and live. Why? Because he is not taken seriously. You are going to use that license to destroy your enemies. Phase 1. The Columbo Method. Extraction. You suspect someone is lying to you. A vendor, a partner, an employee. The amateur tries to trap them with logic. The amateur acts like a prosecutor. I saw the report. The numbers don't add up. Explain yourself. This creates a confrontation. The liar will double down. They will invent a complex lie to cover the simple lie. They will fight you. The warlord uses the Columbo Method, named after the TV detective who wore a rumpled raincoat and acted confused, but always caught the killer. You do not accuse. You ask for clarification. You scratch your head. You furrow your brow. You look genuinely pained by your own lack of understanding. I'm sorry, I'm probably missing something here. I'm not good with these new spreadsheets. You said the revenue was up, but this line here seems to be red. Can you walk me through that like I'm a 5-year-old? Analyze the mechanics. Self-deprecation. I'm not good with these spreadsheets. You are taking the blame for the confusion. You are signaling weakness. The ego stroke. Walk me through that. You are positioning them as the teacher and yourself as the student. The trap. You are asking them to explain the contradiction. When a liar thinks you are smart, they are careful. When a liar thinks you are stupid, they get sloppy. They will think, oh, he's an idiot. I can just spin some jargon and he'll buy it. So they start talking. They start over-explaining. And because they are arrogant, they slip. They contradict themselves. Well, you see, the revenue is deferred because of the amortization schedule. You keep playing dumb. Amortization, right. I always struggle with that word. So that means the money is in the bank or not in the bank, because I checked the balance and it looked low. But again, maybe I'm looking at the wrong account. You are tightening the noose with every dumb question. Eventually, they will have to either admit the lie or tell a lie so ridiculous that it collapses under its own weight. And you never had to be aggressive. You were just confused. If they get angry, you say, "I'm so sorry, I'm just trying to learn from you." You are unassailable. How can they attack someone who is just trying to learn? Phase 2. The ego trap, reconnaissance. In a negotiation, information is the ammunition. The person who talks less holds the power. But how do you get the other side to talk? How do you get them to reveal their bottom line, their strategy, their weaknesses? You play the bumbling student. You enter the negotiation room. The opposing counsel is wearing a $5,000 suit. He looks sharp. He wants to dominate. Let him. Sit a little lower in your chair. Scatter your papers. Look a little overwhelmed. Ask a question that seems naive. I know you guys are the experts in this field, and we're just a small player. How do you usually structure these deals? I want to make sure we're doing it the standard way. The standard way. You have just invited them to lecture you. The arrogant negotiator cannot resist the urge to show off his expertise. He will start talking. Well, normally we require a 20% exclusivity clause, and the IP rights revert to us after 5 years. He is telling you his playbook. He is telling you what he considers normal. He is revealing his targets. He thinks he is educating a fool. In reality, he is handing the blueprints of his fortress to a spy. Take notes. Nod enthusiastically. Wow, that makes sense. You guys really have this figured out. Keep feeding the beast. And what happens if, hypothetically, the supply chain breaks? How do you guys usually handle that? I'm just worried about my little warehouse. He will tell you his contingency plans. He will tell you his fears. By the time the negotiation actually starts, you know his entire hand. And he knows nothing about yours because he didn't bother to ask. He assumed you were empty. Sun Tzu says, "The enemy must not know where I intend to give battle." When you play dumb, the enemy assumes you don't intend to give battle at all. They leave their flanks exposed, and that is where you stick the knife. Phase 3, Strategic Incompetence, Defense. The corporate world is a machine designed to exploit competence. If you are good at something, your reward is more work. If you are efficient, your reward is other people's slack. The go-getter is buried under an avalanche of tasks that do not serve his mission. To survive, you must master strategic incompetence. This is the art of being selectively useless. There are tasks that yield high value: strategy, sales, leadership. There are tasks that yield low value: formatting the report, organizing the holiday party, taking the meeting minutes, fixing the printer. If you prove you are good at fixing the printer, you become the printer guy. For the rest of your tenure, people will come to you with paper jams. You have lowered your status. You have filled your time with garbage. The warlord acts confused by the printer. "I don't know, man. Technology hates me. I tried to open the tray, and I think I broke it last time. Better ask Sarah." You have weaponized clumsiness. You are signaling, "It is dangerous to ask me to do this." People stop asking. They go to someone else. You have cleared your schedule. This applies to unwanted projects. Your boss wants you to head a committee on synergistic culture. It is a waste of time. It is a career killer. Do not say no. No is insubordination. Say yes, but be a jester. "I would love to lead that. I have so many ideas. We could do a mime theme, or maybe interpretative dance." Be a little too enthusiastic. Be a little too weird. Propose ideas that are slightly off the wall. "I was thinking we could replace the chairs with yoga balls." Your boss will look at you. He will feel a pang of fear. He will think, "If I let him run this, it will be a disaster." He will say, "You know what? Maybe we should let Jenkins handle this. I need you focused on the Q4 numbers." You win. You escape the trap by appearing too unstable to hold the responsibility. You use the jester's costume to repel the work you didn't want. Phase 4, the jester's privilege, or truth-telling. In the royal courts of history, the jester was the only one allowed to mock the king. If a duke mocked the king, it was treason, Off with his head. If the jester mocked the king, it was entertainment. The king laughed. But through the joke, the jester delivered the hard truth that the king needed to hear. In the modern world, you can use humor to say the unsayable. You can use the just kidding frame to deliver a lethal strike. Scenario: a meeting. The CEO proposes a terrible idea. It will bankrupt the company. The VPs are silent. They are afraid. They nod. Great idea, boss. If you say, that is a bad idea, you are fired. You are not a team player. The jester speaks up with a smile. I love it. We can save even more money if we just stop paying the employees altogether. Maybe we can pay them in exposure. Laughter. You have put the absurdity of the idea on the table. You have exaggerated it to the point of ridicule. The room laughs, the tension breaks, but the seed is planted. The CEO laughs, but he thinks, wait, is this idea actually that cheap? You can use this to check disrespect. A colleague makes a passive-aggressive comment about your suit. Nice tie. Did you get that at a discount store? The amateur gets angry. It's Armani. Defensive. The jester laughs loudly. I did. I actually stole it from a hobo on the way here. I think it has fleas. Careful. Don't get too close. You have agreed and amplified. You have turned their insult into a joke. You have shown that you are impervious to their status attacks. You have made them look petty for trying to hurt a clown. Phase 5, the who me. Defense, plausible deniability. We talked about plausible deniability in previous modules. Playing dumb is the ultimate shield for the Machiavellian operator. If you are caught plotting, if you are caught maneuvering, if you are caught breaking a rule, you must never admit malice. You must plead incompetence. I didn't know that was the rule. I'm such an idiot. I thought I was helping. I totally misunderstood the email. Hanlon's razor states, never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. People forgive stupidity. They do not forgive malice. If you look like a snake, they will chop off your head. If you look like a puppy who peed on the rug, they will roll up a newspaper, swat you, and move on. You want to be the puppy. This allows you to cross lines. It allows you to enter rooms you aren't supposed to be in. Oh, is this the boardroom? I was looking for the bathroom. Boy, this building is a maze. While you scan the whiteboard for secrets. If you walked in looking like a spy, security would tackle you. Walking in looking like a lost tourist, they hold the door for you. The danger, the mask of lead. There is a risk. If you play the fool too well, people will believe you are a fool. You risk losing respect permanently. You risk being passed over for promotion because they think you aren't capable. You must know when to drop the mask. You must have moments of lucidity. The jester plays dumb for 29 days. On the 30th day, when the crisis hits, when the servers are down, when the client is leaving, the jester steps forward. The voice drops an octave. The posture straightens. The eyes clear. Here is exactly what we need to do. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Execute. The shock is palpable. Where did that come from? I thought he was an idiot. This is the reveal. It creates a specific type of charisma. It creates mystery. People realize that your dumbness was a choice. They realize you were holding back. And they begin to wonder, what else does he know? What else is he capable of? A king who is always king is boring. A jester who turns out to be a king is a legend. The anti-jester. How to spot the enemy. If you are using this strategy, you must assume others are using it against you. How do you spot a warlord wearing the jester's bells? The eyes. The mouth smiles, but the eyes alert. Watch their gaze. A true fool has a vacant gaze. A strategic jester scans the room. They are watching reactions. Selective incompetence. They are bad at the things they don't want to do, but they are miraculously perfect at the things that benefit them. They forget to do the paperwork, but they never forget to cash the check. They don't understand the rule that limits their power, but they perfectly understand the rule that limits yours. The result. Look at the outcome. Despite their clumsiness, Do they always seem to end up in the better position? Do they always seem to survive? If someone is constantly failing up, they are not lucky. They are a jester. When you spot one, do not expose them. Acknowledge them. Nod to them. I see you. They are a fellow practitioner of the art. They might be a valuable ally. Conclusion: the zero ego victory. Society tells you to build your ego, to post your wins on Instagram, to frame your degrees, to shout your achievements. The warlord burns the ego. The ego is heavy. It makes you slow. It makes you predictable. When you play the jester, you become weightless. You can move through social hierarchies without friction. You can enter any room. You can talk to any person because you are not threatening anyone's status. You are the water that flows around the rock. The rock thinks it is strong because it is hard, but the water eventually wears the rock down to sand. Let them feel smart. Let them feel superior. Let them lecture you. Let them think they are the king. While they are busy preening in the mirror, looking at their own crown, you are quietly, smilingly taking their kingdom. Be the jester. Catch the wise, win the war. On this channel, we cover a range of topics like the one in this video. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, we may never see each other again. See you again soon.